Mel Kiper projecting Bijan Robinson, our boy Bijan, our Mars man Bijan, to get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the 2023 NFL Draft. Is it possible? Is it feasible? Let's pretend it is. Let's try and break down how it is possible. What's up, unknown? Appreciate you being first in the building. Punch that like button on your way in the door. The Fantasy Football Show. This random Bijan Robinson live stream begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Baked in, boys, indeed. I'm your boy Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and today we've got a little surprise live stream because I wanted to address this report here by, it's a report about Mel Kiper and Mel Kiper saying that he's projecting Bijan Robinson to be, let me pull this up here, Bijan Robinson to be drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, look, we all have mock drafts. There's nothing wrong with projecting something like this. I'm not trying to go at Mel Kiper right now and say Mel Kiper is wrong, or how dare he, or does he not understand what time it is that Bijan's not falling to the Dallas Cowboys, but the Dallas Cowboys could trade up. So we have to look at that angle. But if we look at the NFL draft order on screen here, the Dallas Cowboys don't select until number 27 overall. So there's no way at all that Bijan Robinson's falling to number 27 overall. So if Mel Kiper's not projecting a trade, which he doesn't really mention from what I gather, and I'm not digging so deep into this, I could be wrong, and if someone knows the answer to this in his mock draft, does he describe a trade? I don't even have his mock draft pulled up. This report came out a little while ago, and I just wanted to not tear down his report. I didn't even care so much about what he said to dig into whether he projects a trade or not. But if he doesn't project a trade, he's out of his mind if he thinks that Bijan's dropping to 27. He'd literally have to run an 8-second 40 time to drop to 27 overall. But the Dallas Cowboys will be a phenomenal landing spot. It would be a phenomenal landing spot, as would Gibbs, says Sandu, and I agree with that. Dallas at 27 is in prime position to get Gibbs or Charbonnet. Charbonnet would be unbelievable. Any one of our top three rookie running back monsters, Charbonnet, Gibby, or Bijan, would be phenomenal in Dallas if Tony Pollard is in fact elsewhere. And I don't believe they franchise tag him. I do believe Tony Pollard does hit free agency. He might find that there's not a lot out there, unfortunately, in terms of big deals and getting what he wants. Kind of like Melvin Gordon last year. Even though Tony Pollard's on a whole different level than Melvin Gordon was when Melvin Gordon left. I'm not saying that Tony Pollard and Melvin Gordon are, please don't read into that statement the way that it came out. I just mean Melvin Gordon left thinking he was going to get the world handed to him on a silver platter, and he came crawling back to Denver. Tony Pollard's in his prime. Tony Pollard, though, is dealing with a fracture, a leg fracture, and he might not be getting interest that he may have had he been healthy, been able to show up and kind of, do his thing. I think teams are smart enough to know that he'll heal and be fine by camp and everything, but I think there's too many rookie running backs, Charbonnet, Bijan, Gibbs, several others, Tucker, Bigsby. There's so many running backs that have a whole lot of value that I think, with there being probably only about 5, 6, 7 very viable job openings in the NFL, that they could all be slotted and filled with rookies or cheaper running backs than what Pollard's probably going to want or think he deserves. And really, he does deserve it. But back on point here, as far as Bijan Robinson landing with the Dallas Cowboys would be phenomenal. ESPN, Mel Kiper projected Texas running back Bijan to the Dallas Cowboys in the first round. Again, I don't know if there's a trade involved. Look, if he ends up in Dallas, it's as good as the landing spots that we've mocked up in Arizona at the number 3 pick, or in Las Vegas, even if they probably could bring in Aaron Rodgers and pay him $60 million. Figure it out. The cap increases. It should work fine. Draft a rookie running back at 7. There's no reason the Raiders couldn't draft Bijan at 7 and still acquire Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, whatever, Lamar Jackson. Like, it's still possible. And the Raiders are in a position where it's like do or die. Like, they've failed, and they've got Adams there, and they're paying Adams big money. They can't sit around. If anybody thinks the Raiders and the Miami Dolphins, who are the 2 top spots for my Brady board, my Aaron Rodgers and Brady board, the Miami Dolphins, the Las Vegas Raiders are the 2 top spots for quarterbacks. If anybody thinks these 2 teams aren't aggressively going after and probably getting one of these 3 guys, I think 2 of these guys are cemented into Miami and Las Vegas. We just don't know which ones. Miami Mike's going to be aggressive. The Raiders have Devontae Adams. They must be aggressive. So back to the question at hand, Bijan in Dallas, he would be, in my opinion, as phenomenally placed as he would be in Arizona, Las Vegas. The only spot I would like maybe not even a tad better, I don't know yet, is Philly at 10. If Bijan landed in a Eagle uniform, we would all be jumping for joy. The question is, are we jumping just as high if he lands in Dallas in a trade? Because he's not falling to 27. That part wasn't said on this piece of news that dropped. This piece of news about Mel Kiper mock drafting and projecting Bijan to the Dallas Cowboys. We think he means 27. I don't know. Anybody ever find out if his mock draft shows anything different? But either way, Philly or Dallas would be a home run beyond home run. That would justify our Mars men list to the 10th degree.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
That would justify our moon men slotting of Bijan Robinson.
The moon men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters, indeed. That would justify our slotting of Charbonnet on the Moon Men list, of Gibbs on the Moon Men list. Dallas is entering the picture, potentially, because we do believe Pollard will not be tagged, and he's a free agent. Dallas is now potentially, we're going to have to do a top running back landing spot board. And maybe we even cook that up on the live stream right now. List off your favorite landing spots for RBs right now. Let's cook up a board. We'll have an animation, a board we can go to. We got the Brady board. We got the NFL draft board. Your boy Smitty is going to continue to add to our arsenal of visuals that we're going to reflect on constantly as this offseason, this beautiful offseason, smoke season, my favorite time of year. My favorite time of year is smoke season. I love it. It gives me so much content, not because I like trying to get clicks or use clickbaity material like, hey, I think something's going to not happen, but I'm going to say it to get... No, I don't do that. I tell you what I really believe would be maybe best, but maybe I don't think it's going to happen. You know, like maybe I think Aaron Rodgers is going to announce that he doesn't want to return to the Packers and that they're going to try and work a trade out. Like, I don't know how that's going to be revealed, but I'm certainly predicting that, and I could be wrong. Everything I'm saying, all the live streams, everything I do is not to try and get clickbait, but I love it, and I'm admitting up front I feed off it. I know all of you do too. This news right here is not, there's nothing concrete about Bijan Robinson going to Dallas. It's a mock draft. It's Mel Kiper's mock draft. Dallas has nothing to do with this. Like, I understand that, you understand that, but it's news and it's circulating and people are talking about it. And I have an obligation and a job that when things are in the news that are relevant to all of us, fantasy football, the NFL, the Cowboys, everybody here has a team. You don't have to watch fantasy football, play fantasy football to watch my show. My show's a news show. My show's an NFL show. It's a fantasy show and an NFL show. You might not play fantasy at all and come here for news because we talk so much news during the off season. But I have an obligation when something hits mainstream media and gets talked about and it's in the cycle, even if I disagree with it, even if it doesn't have legs, even if it's not even that concrete at all, it's some kind of like just piece like this. If it's out there, you're reading about it and you're in the lurch and you're saying, well, this is out there. Smitty should be talking about this. And I'm not going to come on and say, well, I don't really agree with it, so I'm not. If it's out there, I'll come out and talk about it. I'll come out and talk about it. And this is relevant. This is some of the most, relevant content we could find right now because it's a landing spot that we can discuss. It's a pretty well-known, versed, and knowledgeable, even though we all make fun of Mel Kiper to some degree. He's a knowledgeable NFL analyst that sees this as a really viable landing spot. And I agree with it. I think we all agree with it. It's a good landing spot. The only problem is they have to trade. They cannot draft Bijan at 27, but maybe Mel Kiper is hearing things. Maybe Mel Kiper's hearing things about moving up. It's possible. And it's an electric spot for Bijan Robinson. If Joe Mixon loses a job, obviously, since he's a great landing spot, absolutely. The Bengals, the Eagles, there's a plethora of landing spots that make a lot of sense for Bijan Robinson. There aren't enough landing spots, I believe, for Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, all the rookies to find amazing homes. Someone's going to get left in a cloudy and muddy situation. We hope it isn't the players we care most about. We hope it's a player that we could live without, or a player that could climb up in a cloudy situation or a muddy situation and beat out players that we don't really like more than that player. So maybe it ends up working out end of day. Maybe Tony Pollard signs somewhere we don't agree with because he wants the payday and the team that's giving him the payday has a cloudy situation. Not the most likely scenario because usually cloudy situations don't pay well for the running back. There's no sense in doing that. If you've got a cloudy situation, that means you have other running backs and you're not going to go pay big top dollars unless you're just vacant at the RB position, but you never know. So Bijan is in a driver's seat. Charbonnet and Gibbs are in less of a driver's seat for a guaranteed amazing job, but Bijan's almost guaranteed. Nothing's a guarantee in the NFL draft or NFL or fantasy football, but there are close to locks, and this is close to a lock. Bijan going to a almost situation-proof environment as it gets, because the Bears maybe the Bears maybe trade down and draft him. It's possible Montgomery goes elsewhere. The Bears could do that. They could do that. I don't think they take him at 1, but they definitely don't want the 1 pick. The 1 pick is valuable for quarterback drafting. So let's say the Bears trade down to the Falcons pick or the Panthers pick at 9, just above Philly, to make sure Philly doesn't snipe Bijan. The Bears could take Bijan, and Bijan wouldn't be a bad location in Chicago, but we don't want a vulturing, sniping quarterback taking Bijan's touchdowns away. So I'd prefer that not be the landing spot, but it's not the end of the world. He's situation proof no matter where he goes. Monty had success. Khalil Herbert had success at times. If you put Bijan anywhere, he's going to absorb a lot of volume and attention and goal line looks and all that. Fields could take and drain some rushing touchdowns away, but hey, Bijan wouldn't be the end of the world if he was in Chicago. But Texans aren't drafting him. I guess it's a possibility, but not at 2. But could they trade down? Then we'd start worrying maybe about it. That would take Pierce off the board. Pierce and Bijan can't coexist, so that would be bye Pierce. But it doesn't feel like the draft selection that the Texans are gonna pull off here. Texans may go quarterback. I think Stroud or Bryce Young would probably be the most logical pick for the Texans. They're in rebuild mode, and the timing is important for a team like the Texans. Having an RB that has a 4 to 5 year shelf life without the quarterback in place could be a waste of a pick on Bijan, which is why I think they go quarterback. I think they're building, they're getting close, they get the QB, they develop them for a year, the next season they draft a wide receiver or they bring in some free agent wide receivers, and the Texans could be 2 years out, 2-3 years out, and the quarterback takes a while to develop sometimes, and other times it doesn't. But so I think quarterback is logical for the Texans. The Cardinals at 3 probably don't take Bijan because they're my Cardinals and they're going to screw it up. But this is a great landing spot. He can't fall into a bad landing spot, I don't think. It just feels like there's no way I can envision unless a bad team traded up that was not a good situation and they blew it and they drafted Bijan, which I don't see happening. Fields, just my fandom speaking, I love Fields and he's a Georgia boy. James Cook is a bust for 2023. Sorry, fam, says Molly Water. Hero running back again this year is my strategy, says JV. Look, there's so many great strategies. Everything should be best player available. Everything should be best player available. Is not Arizona Cardinals not looking for a running back? Are they looking for QB? No, Casey. They got Kyler Murray. They just paid him a monster deal. Doesn't matter if you or I believe in Kyler Murray. They have Kyler Murray. Unless the Cardinals trade Kyler Murray, they have zero interest in drafting a quarterback in the top 10. Like that would be a total waste for them. I would rather have Bryce Young, and I would rather trade away Kyler Murray. Like I would do that. I would take Bryce Young. You know what I would do is I would trade Kyler Murray to the Texans for the 2 pick, give them another pick back next year or something if I had to, and have the 2 and 3 pick. I would be aggressive. I would win a championship or destroy the franchise within 2 years. We will win a championship or the franchise would completely fall apart within 2 years. One or the other. I'm extreme. I would do it in extreme fashion. I wouldn't just use this pick on Stroud or on Bryce Young and then trade Kyler away from something else. I would get 2 top 3 picks. I would draft Bryce Young and I would draft Bijan. And I would keep Hopkins. And Hopkins would probably want to stay at that point, developing that way. But either way, I wouldn't trade Hopkins. I would give Bryce Young, Hopkins, Hollywood, Rondell Moore, and Bijan Robinson, and try. And that would, I mean, that plan of attack would lure in a D'Amico Ryans who could fix the defense up. You get the right offensive coordinator. The Cardinals would either win a championship in 2 years or they would completely fall apart. I would do one or the other. Bijan not getting past Dallas if he falls that far. He's not falling that far. He's not. There's no way Bijan's going in the mid 20s, let alone 27. So that's what's funny about Kuiper's report, unless his mock draft shows a trade. I think it's delusional for people to think that Bijan falls into the bucket of a normal running back. He doesn't. This is not the running backs don't get drafted early running back. Like, that's the way it's going to be moving forward in the NFL. This doesn't change it. Bijan getting drafted in the top 12 won't kickstart the early running back drafting trend that used to be in the NFL every year in the NFL draft. This is just a one-off outlier player that will go in the top 12. And he could go as high as 4 overall. And people find it hard to believe because history tells us that doesn't happen anymore. But people aren't doing their homework and understanding that he's a generational talent and teams see him that way. It doesn't matter if he is or isn't. He's got to be seen that way. Perception's reality. And if these teams do view him as top 12 capable, top 12 worthy of an NFL draft pick, then he's going to go early. So I think it's delusional when people mock draft him to go 27 to the Dallas Cowboys, or mock draft him to go, to KC at 29 or Philadelphia at 31. That's not going to happen. Bijan's going, unless Bijan goes out there and runs an 8-second 40 time. He's not dropping. He's not dropping. He'd have to run a minute 40 time in order to drop to 27. Yusuf, I'm sorry you have to do this to you, Yusuf. Please don't take this personally. Rewind the last 3 minutes, Yusuf. But anyway, appreciate you. Take a lap, Yusuf. The combine will determine if he's a top 12 or late first round pick. Combines and pro days will also solidify whether there's a little slippage. You know, like his 40 time could make him drop into like the 12 to 15 range. It's entirely possible. But you know, we also see things happen that we never expect to happen. Look at Malik Willis. He was supposed to go so high and he kept falling. He kept falling and falling and falling and falling, and that was crazy. He fell so far. 75 of you in here, punch that thumb up button and help your boy out. Am I wrong? LOL. Yusuf, I just went over that for like 5 minutes, like in the middle of when you dropped. Like you didn't just show up, Yusuf. I love you, pal. Brofist. You didn't just show up after I spieled on it, bro. I was literally like in the middle of talking about it when you dropped the comment, like running backs just don't go in the first round. I just started explaining it. Like he's not in that. He's an outlier, and the teams all agree, and scouts agree. He's not what you're describing to be true, which is true. Running backs don't go. One barely goes in the first round now, like 27, 25, 29. This is different. He's not your grandma's running back, bro. This is different. He's a one-off outlier, top 12 overall pick, consensus. He could go 3 to the Cardinals, Yusuf. He could go number 3 overall. He could go number 3 overall. He could go 6 to the Lions. These teams are not looking at him the same. He's generational, Yusuf. He's generational. I appreciate you. Brofist again. You know you're my guy. Don't take that the wrong way. We all take laps, Yusuf. It's good for us. Falcons take him at 100%. See, look at our RCT is literally telling you that the Falcons, he believes, are going to snag him at 8 if he falls. If he falls, Yusuf. He's not falling to 27. Mel Kiper, if Mel Kiper isn't projecting a trade in his... Let's look up Mel Kiper's mock draft. This is starting to bother me not knowing if Mel Kiper has an actual trade projected. Mock draft 2023. Let's see what Mel Kiper's mock draft is. This is 12 hours ago. This has to be it. Mel, tell me you have a trade designed. Let's go. Search for Bijan Robinson. Bijan. I need a light under my desk. I can't. My keyboard's in a very dark place, and I have to like go like this to see some of the keys. It doesn't light up because it's a really good Apple one. But Bijan Robinson. Let's see. Okay. I think he's literally having Bijan slip. Are you kidding me? I think he has Bijan slipping all the way. Mel Kiper's mock draft. Let's see. This is ridiculous, Mel. Absolutely ridiculous. Bijan Robinson. Mel Kiper's mock draft. Come on, ESPN. It's like Air Sporting News. I'm looking at Sporting News, and it's like ad after ad after ad. Okay, so where's the second part of round 2? More Sporting News mock draft. Can somebody else find it? Like, I don't want to do this live because it's like I can't find his entire mock draft. I can't find his entire mock draft. Smitty, I have film on Bijan proves he's thumbs up. Nice. Somebody find his mock draft right now for me and tell me what draft slot he has Bijan projected to. Is it Dallas at 27 or Dallas moving up and taking him at like 14 or something? Please, somebody find it for me. Tankathon has Bijan falling to the Bucks at 19. That at least that's like feasible. Like a bad 40 time, a little bit of bad reporting on him or something like that. You know, like whatever. That's feasible. It's potentially possible. But 27, Not going to happen. Smitty, I unfortunately have film that will ruin Bijan's career. I love sending this to teams in the offseason. Sorry, says Ian. If anybody doesn't know what this is about, our boy Ty Lee came in and said he's got film on Burrow that's going to ruin his career. It's not like off the field stuff. It's like he figured out Burrow watching film. And it's destroyed high school quarterbacks before at his high school. They use this technique to tear down high school quarterbacks. He has a technique of film watching, apparently, in specific film that's going to tear down Burrow's career. So everybody loves coming in with the Ty Lee. I've got film. Unfortunately, I've got film on this guy. Unfortunately, I got film on this guy. But yeah, let's see here. 26, Bijan overhyped. Yusuf, we thank you, Yusuf, for your... Everybody, look, I told Yusuf to take a lap. I feel bad already. Let's give Yusuf a standing ovation. Yusuf, again, you're my boy. I hope you know that.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
I just want to thank Yusuf for doubting Bijan, too, on top of all of what he's done already tonight. Yusuf, you are my guy. Without Yusuf, we wouldn't have enough doubt to have Bijan float into round 2 in redraft. And Yusuf, tell me, where would you take Bijan in redraft? I assume you'd say 3rd or 4th round. I'm hoping that's what you'll say. We need Yusufs in this world. Without Yusufs, we're nothing. Okay? We can't deploy our strategies. We can't get our Mars men, our moon men. We need Yusuf more than Yusuf needs us. Let's just put it that way. Yusuf, you're more important and valuable than we are. Single-handedly. Because without you, Bijan goes in the top 10. In redraft. We need you, Yusuf. I almost called you Bijan. All right. Let's see where I want to know where Yusuf has Bijan Robinson ranked because he says he's overhyped. This is fantastic news. Bijan, put your earmuffs and blindfold on. Bijan Robinson.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
We need more Yusufs. Bijan Kenobi says, wow, what a bust. He should go undrafted. Bijan Kenobi clearly is a hater. He loves Bijan. He loves Bijan. We need more Yusufs. We need more. But Yusuf, I'm very, very curious where you're going to take him. I'm serious. I love the differing opinions. We need it. It's required. It's a requirement. We owe Yusuf a debt of gratitude. Honestly, I truly mean that. Smitty, is your draft board wrong? Mel has 26. Mel has Dallas 26. Is my draft board wrong? You think my draft board's wrong, bro? You think my draft board's wrong? Does he have Mel at 26 or does he not have numbers at all? Because Miami has the 21st pick and it's been forfeited. You know what I'm saying? So Dallas technically has the 26th draft selection, my guy. But to keep things ultra accurate, you think I'd walk in here without proofreading my material? I bet you he doesn't have Miami on the board, so you don't really know what's going on. I like to map it out. Miami lost their pick with the whole Flores situation, bro. So it actually is pick 27, and Miami forfeits their 21st overall pick. Mel Kiper needs to get his crap together, is what that's about. And I appreciate you calling it out, though, in case I had it wrong. Bijan overhyped. He's not overhyped. He ain't overhyped at all. Everyone's opinion will change by the time fantasy drafts come around. I'm hoping they don't, bro. But where do you have him? I want to know, is he 3rd or 4th round redraft for you, Yusuf? We're really curious just so we know what like a doubter would. And I don't mean this in a negative way. I want to know, what's a doubter see Bijan as? Like, is it 3rd or 4th round redraft? Would you not even take him in the 3rd round? I want to know for preparation purposes, you know what I mean? So please drop your best guess as your best guess as to where you would draft Bijan in a draft. Frake says Bijan will 100% tear it up It just depends where teams want to value him in the draft. Combine Pro Day numbers will determine his range. We will only have 31 picks this year, so he could be the 32nd. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My mouse is freaking out. Fantasy content creators are just overhyping him. That's all I'm saying. I know, but Yusuf, did you give us the pick, though? I want to know where you would take him if you're drafting right now. And content creators are overhyping him. Not like we are.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
Not like we are, Yusuf.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
No one's hyping him like us, Yusuf. Okay, I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that 1,000%. I have some film that will drop Bijan to running back 4. I hope, bro. Release it now. Release it now. I'm still waiting for Yusuf to give me a number. Yusuf, it's like pulling teeth, bro. This is like pulling teeth. It's hard to say right now because he's not on a team. Yusuf, use all the doubt at your disposal and at your fingertips. Use every piece of doubt you have and give me a number. Where would you draft him? Use a logic here to anticipate that he goes to a mediocre team or not, and how slow of a start he has. Give me a number, Yusuf. I want a number. I can't draft him over anyone since he's currently not on a team. Yusuf, I'm starting to think you're the guy that never makes a trade, that you're pull teeth over and over. Yusuf, give me a number for goodness sakes, bro. Let us know what the doubter's thinking about Bijan. We're waiting for you, bro. We just want a number. Spit it out. We got you. We understand you. We need it. Yusuf, let's start a timer. This is the Yusuf timer. How long does it take Yusuf to give us a number? Goodness gracious, man. I can tell you he won't go top 10, says Isaac. The Yusuf stopwatch is at 20 seconds. It's like pulling teeth. Avatar says Bijan doubters. He doesn't have 4.4 breakaway speed. Let's come up with a collection of negatives on Breece Hall too. Let's come up with a list of negatives on Bijan and spread them around like crazy. And just keep spreading them around and just showing them to everybody we can. Going to the sports bars, going to a Zips or a native New Yorker or wherever you guys have a sports bar. Walk in and say, I took Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall late, so I do the same. Goodness gracious, Yusuf. It's like speaking to my mom. Yusuf, I love you, pal. Your timer's still going. Give us a draft slot. Like 4.4. 3.8. Yusuf, spit it out. We're trying to get some sort of number from you. This is the Yusuf clock. How long does it take Yusuf to give us a number? How do you spell Yusuf? I want to make sure I do this right. Let's see. Yusuf. How do you spell your name, Yusuf? Yusuf. Double F. Yusuf. Timer. I mean, goodness gracious, Yusuf. Come on, bro. You can do it. You can do it, bro. 6 to 8. Thank God. Stop it. Timer stops. 6 to 8 round. Wow. 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 You guys, we may be overshooting this. This whole third round. This whole that we can get away with Bijan. But all it takes is one guy that feels the same way we do. But this is awesome. Just knowing that there's probably 1 or 2 or 3 people in a league that think this way would be phenomenal. Yusuf, I appreciate you being a good sport. I appreciate you giving us the number. I don't think 1 minute and 56 seconds is accurate. Add about 3 minutes to that, but thank you very much, Yusuf. I appreciate you. Eighth round. Yeah, we'll call it 7. Round 7. That's crazy. That's crazy late, bro. Oh. That's unbelievable. 6 to 7 round. I mean, really? We can get this value down, guys. Yusuf, how much would it take for me to... How much you charge an hour to do a little marketing for us? A little spreading the news that he's 6 to 8 round material. I would like to know what your fee is. Brees was going in the 3rd. Look, Brees was going late. Kenneth Walker was going. Remember when 6 to 8 round was early for Kenneth Walker? He just kept cleaning up. He went like at 9. He went like at 8-9. The appendix thing shoved him right into 8-9. Like this is exactly where Kenneth Walker was going. This is unbelievable. Maybe we can pay some people in Fiverr to talk bad about Bijan Robinson. This not any lies or anything. Just highlight his negatives. Pay someone on Fiverr to go around and just kind of let people know what his negatives and non-strengths are. I kind of feel like that might be a good $5 investment. Pay about 4, 5, 6 different people about $50 each. So X number of gigs. They just go out there and start highlighting, not spreading false information or anything like that, but just start telling people the things to be concerned about. The legitimate guy's probably doesn't run a 4.40. Spread that out. Mel Kiper thinks he's falling to 27 overall. That's a negative. Avatar says, Smitty, if Bijan was there in round 7, you'd pick him, and so would I. Stop trolling. What? What are you talking about? Avatar, call in. I don't know what you're talking about.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I'm not sure if Avatar knows what's going on. To be honest, I appreciate the super chat though. Top super chatter of the night, but I don't think Avatar understands me right now. Is what I'm guessing. I don't think Avatar understands. Avatar, you've been missing for a while. I have a feeling you and I got to get to know each other again, because I don't think you know what I'm even saying right now, Avatar. I don't know, and I love you, pal. I love you. You know I love you. But I don't know that you've been around much.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. Loads dropping and spit.
Yeah, Avatar, you're live.
Smitty, what's up, man?
Can you explain what we're talking about here? Your super chat. Let me have the system read the super chat for you, and then I want you to expand and expand upon it. Here we go.
_avatar__super chat $4.99 from _avatar_. Smitty, if Bijan was there in round 7, you'd pick him, and so would I.
Bijan.
Stop trolling Yusuf.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, this Yusuf guy says he's going in the 7th round. So I mean, I don't know what.
Oh, stop! I thought you.
I'd take him.
I thought you were, but the way you wrote this, do you really think I would let Bijan get out of round 2?
Well, I'm just saying, if he's there, I'm taking him.
Because the way you're writing this, you assume that like I'm saying I wouldn't take him in round 7. And what I'm trying to say is, Avatar, you've been missing for so long. I wouldn't let Bijan slip past 24 overall.
I slip out of the first round.
I think I would be that bonehead that I tell you guys not to be, that says let it happen, lay back and let it happen, and I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I don't think I could even test it out. You could tell me his ADP's around round 4, Smitty, and I'd be like, I can't do it, Avatar. I have to take him at 24 overall. So I mean,
take him on the turn.
I am, but that's why I was confused, because it looks like you think that I'm saying I wouldn't take him early. I was just confused by your super.
No. I was just having some fun with you guys. That's all. I mean, I know Bijan's going to go anywhere from probably 106 to.
I want Yusuf to call in, and not to go at him or anything. I want Yusuf. I don't want Yusuf to think this isn't a safe space. It is. He can think whatever he wants.
We need to know the thought process with Yusuf. We need to know what his assessment is.
Bijan is most overhyped. So that's the newest Yusuf comment. Okay. Yusuf, do you mind calling in? I promise I'll be very gentle. I'm not going to be mean or anything like that. You know I love you, pal, so I never want to drive you away from the show. But I am having a little fun with you, I admit. And I'm sorry if you seem like you got thick skin, Yusuf. So, but I would love to know the thought process behind it. You know, like we got to
know it. Maybe
he's
a genius. You know what I'm saying? We got to know.
We just had Kenneth Walker, you know, do what Yusuf you're not thinking that Bijan's going to do, and Kenneth Walker did it, and Breece Hall and Etienne, and you know Etienne was a sophomore, but essentially was a rookie. I mean, Bijan's more capable of doing top 5 running back things than any of those guys, and I love Breece Hall, but Bijan, we've been waiting for him for a while. The light's been on for a
3
while.
years.
Yeah. We've been sitting sitting
Five-star
up.
recruit coming out of high school.
This guy's
Pretty
going.
sure he graded out better than Breece and Kenneth Walker pretty easily too.
Yeah. And like Peanut Butter and Cup says, no disrespect to Yusuf, it's different opinions rock. But I want the thing is I took Kenneth Walker late. I know, and you would take Bijan late, but the problem is he's not gonna. Call in, Yusuf. We got to get on the same page. That's all I'm saying. Just call in. The phone line's open. Hold on, Avatar. Hold on.
Call into the show.
Yeah.
Call into the show.
Safe space, Yusuf. Safe space, and no one troll Yusuf or get mad at him or whatever. Yusuf is giving us like a lot of valuable information right now, based on a doubter's perspective. Like if we were to just kind of like shut the door on Yusuf, get out of here. Then we wouldn't learn from him. We need to learn from where he's coming from so we can better prepare for maybe some value that we don't think is coming, you know, and all it takes is 1 or 2 people to get cute like we do, you know, to take Bijan away. So it's not like Yusuf's stance is going to equal that he's going to fall to the later rounds, but it gives us some insight into like maybe us expecting Bijan to be at number 8 overall by August. Maybe he's at 14. You know, I don't know. I predict that the industry is going to be so crazy in love with this guy, and we're a driving force. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't know a channel out there that's higher on Bijan than I am. I mean, you can't be, because I have him as the 1/2 overall redraft running back. Put earmuffs on, Yusuf. Put earmuffs on. Yusuf, call in. Let's start the timer again.
Smitty, I'm going to hang up and listen to the show.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you call in. I just wanted to make sure. Look, I appreciate the super chat, and just know that I'm the biggest Bijan supporter you're going to find. Number 1.
Anytime, homie. You're my dude from way back in the day.
Yeah. Avatar. He's the number 1 or number 2 overall redraft running back.
Oh, easy.
Let's go. All right.
You're going to see running backs fall this year anyway. People are going to go wide receiver early.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Later. Avatar, ladies and gentlemen. I love Avatar. He's been missing for a while, though, Avatar. You definitely need to make sure you're frequenting a little bit more than you have been. We need Avatar in here. We need more Yusufs in here. Let's start the Yusuf timer. When will Yusuf call in? It is, Yusuf. It is a little bit like pulling teeth, bro. Not just having you call in. Maybe you can't call in. Maybe you're in a. Maybe he already said I can't call in, Smitty. The wife's asleep or whatever. Like, I don't want to disturb the home life, but it is anything I ask you to do. It's like pulling teeth. It takes forever, Yusuf. I'm not gonna lie. Dial in, bro. We're waiting for you. Okay, let's get on back over to the NFL draft page, because I really I really want to describe the value here. Nothing from Yusuf yet. Nothing from Yusuf yet. I would love to see Charbonnet. He said he ain't calling. Okay. Yusuf, I appreciate you, pal. Yusuf, though, put on your earmuffs on this one. Wife is asleep, buddy. Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Yusuf, for your time. Anyway. Yusuf, he's my number 1/2 redraft running back. Do you think I'm crazy, Yusuf? Do you still love your boy Smitty? He's my number 1/2 redraft running back 2023. It doesn't mean that you draft him there, though, Yusuf. Make sure you understand what I'm doing right now is probing you and trying to get a feel of what our ADP is going to look like. Because if you can get him at 24 overall, you're getting my number 1 or 2 redraft running back at 24 overall. If you're getting him at 4 or, well, Yusuf, I have CMC 1. Haven't you watched my running back video? I have CMC 1 and Bijan 2. But he's my 1/2. He's my 1/2. CMC's my 1 in the video. Bijan's my number 2. But if he's going at 24 or 14 or 18 overall on ADP data, you have to wait. You know what I mean? Like, he should not be your second drafted running back. If anybody takes that information and drafts him number 2 or drafts him as the running back 2, you're not paying attention, because that's not what I'm saying. And I'd make you take a lap for it. If you call me up and say, Smitty, I just drafted, like you said, Bijan Robinson as a second drafted running back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to celebrate what you did. That's not for you, Yusuf. I'm talking about anybody that doesn't listen and they draft Bijan way earlier than they need to. First live I catch in a while, been really busy. Yusuf, we're glad you're here, pal. Appreciate you. What would be my ideal landing spot? We went over that earlier in the live stream, but in general, the Cardinals would be fantastic. The Eagles would be number 1. Dallas would be probably tied for number 1. It would be the Eagles and Dallas, who is projected by Mel Kiper to be a very interested team and potential likely landing spot for Bijan Robinson, the Dallas Cowboys. But they can't get him at 27. He's not falling. He's not falling to 27. He's going to be a top 12 overall pick. The Eagles would be ridiculously reckless to let him fall past 10. And teams that really want him would be ridiculously reckless to not trade up ahead of the Eagles to make sure that they get him. Because the Eagles get Bijan, we might as well lock them into an NFC Championship game for 3 out of the next 5 years. Ben says running back ranks video was a premiere, not a live. Well, it was a live premiere, to be specific, Ben. Appreciate you. Anyway, thought I'd get on here and talk about that. There is a couple other things. This thing I wanted to mention. Let me get rid of that real quick. Where was that piece of information? This one's interesting. This one's real interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. This one is one I want to talk about here. Where's my Aaron Rodgers graphic when I need it? Aaron Rodgers graphic when I need it. Here we go. Mr. Aaron Rodgers news here. Joe Namath says the New York Jets can unretire his number 12 for Aaron Rodgers. This is fantastic. Just creating some buzz. I love it. And I told you guys earlier on my show earlier today, I picture Aaron Rodgers in New York. I can see it. I could see him in that helmet. I could see him tossing the ball to Garrett Wilson. I could see Bijan Robinson having so much production and success under Aaron Rodgers, man. Throwing the football to Breece Hall. This is awesome. This is awesome. Ada says Namath swinging for the fences. I mean, look, whatever the Jets got to do, they say, get involved, Namath. Help us out. And Namath says, well, let me unretire my jersey if A-Rod comes. This is awesome. This is awesome. And it's such a great location. And it feels like the Jets are one move away from being the Bengals or on the Bengals track. They have the Bengals blueprint. If you think the Jets are the Jets and they're not going to be good, you're not paying attention. They've got such a good defense. Sauce Gardner. They've got Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. Elijah Moore is a good wide receiver that's getting forgotten right now because of the situation. But you give Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall and that defense to Aaron Rodgers, and you have a top 10 team in the NFL. You have a team that's going to be in the final 8 to 10. You have a team that has a shot at even winning the division, a very tough division, but locking into a wild card spot, even in a tough division. Aaron Rodgers in New York is phenomenal for everybody. Everybody wins. Garrett Wilson wins. Elijah Moore wins. Aaron Rodgers wins. Breece Hall wins. The Jets win. The Jets defense wins. Jet fans win. Green Bay Packers fans kind of win because they get to test out Jordan Love, and maybe Christian Watson's a little lesser with Aaron Rodgers, but maybe not. Maybe Aaron Rodgers did what he needed to do, and now Christian Watson can fly.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains.
It's possible that Christian Watson's got all he needs to do what he needs to do. And maybe Jordan Love is more the real deal than we think. But all I know is Joe Namath, this is awesome. And this is one piece to luring in an Aaron Rodgers potential trade and negotiation. And A-Rod would command about $60 million. The way that his contract is structured, the team that acquires him would pay about $60 million this season, which with the cap increase and all that, like, it's worth it. It's worth it. The Jets are willing to pay it. The Jets know they're one QB away from being a top 10 team. And Jet haters and division rival fandom type people are going to come in and say, the Jets, they're garbage. But I don't care what they say. I know what I feel. The Jets are... I said that the Bengals will win the division last year. Not this year we're currently in. The last year, everyone laughed. The Bengals have the blueprint. The Jets are on the same track. And it was funny. It was funny to say the Bengals were going to do what they were going to do. Just like it's funny to say that the Jets are going to do it, but watch it happen. And look at how many people love the Jets. How many Jet fans are going to come out of the woodwork? How many people are going to bandwagon and attach themselves to that team? The Jets are going to turn it around. Anyway, I appreciate everybody being here. I will see you all tomorrow. I'll probably be live at some point during the day, either on an emergency live stream, or I'm going to drop another Moon Man in a premiere. But either way, I'll be probably live or in a premiere fashion in a live stream before tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show will be at 7 p.m. And I'll see you all then. Appreciate you being here. And get on over to the Dynasty channel. Dynasty Fantasy Football. YouTube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. All you got to do on my main YouTube page is click on the channel tab. And you'll see all my channels there. Click the Dynasty channel. Subscribe. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. I will see you all tomorrow. I'll call in tomorrow if I catch your live. Thank you, Yusuf. I appreciate you being a good sport. And in different opinions, rock, bro. Okay? Later, guys. Mighty Buffoon says I missed a super chat. Hold on. Your boy Rick, you still here? 49ers going to trade Lance for a top 13 draft pick. Woo. I don't think so. Your boy Rick, I anything's possible, but I don't think Trey's earned that. And that's sad because the Niners gave up so much to get him. But he was already doubted by a lot of people in a questionably early pick. And I like him. I'm not saying I didn't like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. But he was already a questionable pick, your boy. And so I think not only our teams were already in the we don't know type of situation, they're already doubting him, right? The few teams that thought, okay, that was a good pick, those teams are now scared off by the injury. So, I don't see how he retains even close to his former value. And I don't think I think you could maybe get a future undetermined, unknown 24, first round pick or something. But there's no way, in my opinion, that anybody's giving up a high draft capital pick in the first round for Trey Lance, who's unproven. I could see a future undetermined, unknown draft pick, but just no way I see this happening. But are you still here, your boy? Where are you at? I want to make sure you got your answer, pal. Thank you for dropping the super chat. Your boy Rick, everybody. Your boy Rick. And then the other super chat was Avatar. Avatar, appreciate you dropping that and calling in, my guy. We need more Avatar. We need more Yusuf. We need more Avatar. Thank you, your boy Rick. I'll see you all later. Hopefully your boy Rick's here. Yusuf to the moon. Where you at, your boy? Your boy Rick, you here? Lance in Miami is definitely a possibility we talk about quite often because, Miami, Mike loves those Niner players, Later, Peanut Butter. Appreciate you. Terry, on patrol. Ada, boy. Have a good night, Ada. Man, your boy Rick dropped a super chat, left before I even got to address it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rick. What if Bijan is another Clyde? What if the sun doesn't rise tomorrow, Gary? Somebody said that to me last year about Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. What if they're another Clyde? And I said, you know what I said to them, Gary? What if the sun doesn't ride? What if the sun doesn't rise? Ride the sun. I said the same thing to them, Gary, and they didn't like it so much at the end of the day. Clyde has nothing to do with it. But I appreciate the comment, and more people say that than you know, so it's something some people say, so I appreciate you saying it, Gary. But yeah, he's punch that thumb up, you guys, on the way out the door. Later, Casey. Later, everybody. Peace out. Appreciate you. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Smitty, you're not hearing me. I don't know a lot about fantasy football. I know everything about fantasy football. Woo!